Hello, aspirants. Welcome to the METIS IAS NCERT Foundation course for UPSC Civil Services Examination and all competitive exams. NCERT builds your basics, but remember one thing very clearly: UPSC Prelims is cleared only when you can apply these basics as MCQs under exam pressure. That is why, along with these NCERT classes, METIS IAS focuses on testing NCERT concepts in UPSC pattern questions. Now, with this mindset, let us begin today's class in a simple and exam oriented way. Today, we begin class 6th Civics. This is day 2 of your NCERT Foundation journey. Before we talk about constitution, governance, or administration, NCERT starts with something very basic, that is society itself. So, our first chapter is chapter 1, understanding diversity. Let me begin with a very simple question: is India the same everywhere? Do people eat the same food everywhere? Do they speak the same language everywhere? Do they wear the same clothes everywhere? The answer is clearly no. Yet, all of us together form one country, that is India. This difference in the way people live is called diversity. Diversity. That is what this chapter helps us understand. You may have a doubt why NCERT starts with diversity. Society comes before governance. People come before policies. India is diverse, not uniform. Understanding people is the base of administration. That is why NCERT starts with diversity. This is very important definition. What is diversity? What is diversity? In the simplest words, diversity means variety. Diversity means variety. It refers to differences in food, clothing, language, customs, traditions, lifestyles among people. For broader understanding, diversity refers to differences in culture, language, religion, and lifestyle within a society. Why diversity exists? Now understand this very carefully. People are not different by accident. People live differently because they adapt. Adapt to what? The place they live, the climate they face, the resources available. So diversity is natural. It is not a problem. It is the result of people adjusting to their surroundings. It is the result of people adjusting to their surroundings. You may clear why diversity exists. People adapt to their surroundings. Climate affects food and clothing. resources affect occupations. So that diversity is natural, not accidental. NCERT gives us one powerful idea, that is geography and history shape culture. Geography and history shape culture. Where people live and what history they experience decide how they live. Where people live and what history they experience decide how they live. Where people live in this geography here and what history they experience in this history is here. Decide how they live. Shape culture. That's it. To explain this idea clearly, NCERT gives us two examples. One is Kerala, second one is Ladakh. Let us first understand Kerala. Kerala is a coastal state. Kerala is a coastal state in southwestern coast of India. It has heavy rainfall, it has fertile land, it has rivers and backwaters. With this geographical location and climatic conditions, they produce rice and spices are very much grown here. Fishing is common. So, historically, with this, Kerala had trade relations with Arabs, Chinese, and Europeans. Trade brought new ideas, religions, and culture. So, that is why this created cultural diversity in Kerala. With trade, cultural exchange happened and diversity also happened. Now, let us move to Ladakh. Ladakh is a cold desert. Ladakh is a cold desert. It has very little rainfall and a limited farming. With the little rainfall, obviously farming will be limited. People depend on animal rearing and wool, especially pashmina. Historically, Ladakh was connected to Tibet through trade routes. Because of this, Buddhism spread in Ladakh. So again, notice carefully. Geography and trade influence culture. Geography and trade influence culture. Let us break this idea clearly. What shapes diversity? Climate shapes food habits, geography shapes occupations, trade shapes religion and culture, resources shapes lifestyle. Climate, food habits, geography, occupations, trade, religion and culture. We have seen in Kerala and also in Ladakh. Resources, lifestyle. So diversity is not random. Diversity is not random. It has clear reasons. Think of a simple example. Coastal areas having fish based diet. Desert regions having livestock based life. These are not choices. These are adaptations. This is why diversity exists everywhere. Now, now let us understand some important terms. Diversity, variety in living styles. culture, way of life of people, tradition, practices passed over generations, adaptation, adjusting to surroundings, cultural exchange, sharing ideas through trade. These words will appear again and again in higher classes. First, diversity. What is mean by diversity? Diversity is nothing but simple variety. Diversity is variety. Variety in living styles. Variety in what? Living styles. Next one, culture. Culture means way of life of people. Tradition. What is mean by tradition? Practices passed over generations, one generation to another, one generation to another. That is called tradition. Next, adaptation. Adaptation means what? Adjusting to surroundings. Adjusting to surroundings is called adaptation. Cultural exchange. Cultural cultural exchange means cultural exchange is sharing ideas through trade. That is called cultural exchange. These words are most important. Why? Because these words will appear again and again in higher classes. So that is why these are important. Now, aspirants, note this carefully. This chapter may look simple, but it becomes very important later. For prelims, conceptual questions on society asked. For GS paper 1 mains, Indian society, unity in diversity, also important thing. Administration, region specific policies for administration, understanding local needs. Without understanding diversity, administration fails. That is why this chapter matters for UPSC. Now, aspirants, this is important. UPSC has directly or indirectly tested this idea. In UPSC CSE Prelims 2014, one question asked, Buddhism spread through trade routes. Buddhism spread through trade routes. This is exactly what you saw in Ladakh. Then, in UPSC CSE Mains 2015 GS Paper 1, one question asked, that is, India's diversity has always been a source of strength. Discuss. Diversity as strength. Asked in UPSC CSE Mains 2015. NCERT examples give you the basic logic for such answers. So that is why important NCERT is to read clearly, to understand very much clearly. Let me clear this. This chapter is not only for prelims or mains. UPSC also tests this thinking in the interview. In the interview, the board is not interested in definitions. They want to see whether you can think like an administrator or not. All interview answers here come from one NCERT idea, that is, geography and history shape culture. If you understand this properly, you will not memorize answers. You will think clearly and speak naturally. For example, one policy cannot fit all regions in India. They might have been asked in interview board like these things, like these points. Remember this Metis concept stamp. Where geography differs, culture differs. Where geography differs, culture differs. Never forget this line. Let us summarize this chapter. Diversity means variety, Geography and history shape culture. Kerala and Ladakh explain this clearly. Diversity is natural and positive. Diversity strengthens society. This is the foundation of the Indian society. This is the foundation of Indian society. These 5 to 6 points are important and summary of this entire chapter. So you have to clearly and carefully observe these chapters. Sorry, observe these lines. This is the foundation of Indian society. So today's task is simple. Read chapter 1 once from NCERT. Write one geographical reason and one cultural reason for diversity in Kerala and Ladakh. This is how NCERT becomes exam ready. Understanding NCERT is the first step. Testing NCERT is concepts. Testing NCERT concepts is what clear prelims. In the next class, we will move to diversity and discrimination. Until then, revise slowly and think clearly. Metis IAS, where concepts become clarity. Thank you.